Licensure Examination for Teachers. Subject: Assessment of Student Learning, Developmental Reading. Professional Education, for both elementary and secondary. Topic: Principles and types of educational assessment. Question number 1. Which principle of assessment ensures that a test measures what it is intended to measure? If a test is designed to measure grade 10 students' critical thinking skills, it should not primarily measure their reading comprehension. A. Reliability. B. Objectivity. C. Practicality. D. Validity. Correct answer: D. Validity. Why D is correct? Validity is the single most important principle. It refers to the appropriateness, meaningfulness, and usefulness of the specific inferences made from test scores. If the test measures what it claims to measure, it is valid. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Reliability refers to the consistency of the test results, getting the same score if taken repeatedly. A test can be reliable but not valid, e.g., consistently measuring the wrong thing. B. Objectivity refers to the consistency of scoring, two scorers get the same score. C. Practicality refers to the ease of use, cost, and time required for the test. Edge knowledge. Think accuracy, truth. The core question of validity is the test measuring the right thing? It is the foundation upon which all other assessment qualities rest. Question number 2. Which type of assessment is conducted during instruction with the primary purpose of monitoring student progress and providing immediate, actionable feedback to both the student and the teacher? A. Summative assessment. B. Diagnostic assessment. C. Formative assessment. D. Placement assessment. Correct answer: C. Formative assessment. Why C is correct? Formative assessment is assessment for learning. It happens in progress and aims to shape instruction, the form of the lesson, and guide the learner by providing feedback for improvement. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Summative assessment. Assessment of learning. Conducted at the end of unit, term, to evaluate mastery and assign a grade, a summing up. B. Diagnostic assessment. Conducted before instruction to identify students' prior knowledge, strengths, and weaknesses. D. Placement assessment. Conducted before instruction to assign students to appropriate courses or groups. Edge knowledge. Think feedback, in progress. The keywords during instruction and monitoring progress point directly to the formative function, the tool used to adjust the lesson and improve learning while it is happening. Question number 3. A physical education teacher requires students to perform a practical demonstration of the proper first aid procedure for an ankle sprain, which is then scored using a detailed rubric that lists all necessary steps. This is an example of A. Traditional paper and pencil test. B. Standardized assessment. C. Authentic assessment. D. Norm-referenced assessment. Correct answer: C. Authentic assessment. Why C is correct? Authentic assessment, or performance-based assessment, requires students to construct a response or demonstrate a skill in a real-world context, first aid. The use of a rubric confirms the focus on process and product quality. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. This involves recall and recognition, not demonstration. B. Standardized tests are usually formal, paper and pencil, high-stakes tests compared against a large group. D. Norm-referenced. Compares the student's score to others, not the nature of the task. Edge knowledge. Think real-world, demonstration. If the assessment requires students to do or create something that reflects a real-life application, like first aid, it is authentic. Question number 4. A 50-item math test is administered to a class. If the students who score high on the first 25 items also tend to score high on the last 25 items, and vice versa, the test is likely demonstrating high A. Practicality. B. Internal consistency reliability. C. Objectivity. D. Construct validity. Correct answer: B. Internal consistency reliability. Why B is correct? Internal consistency reliability, often measured by Cronbach's alpha or split-half method, checks if all the items within the test measure the same construct. If the two halves of the test, items 1 to 25 versus 26 to 50, yield similar results, the test is reliable and consistent within itself. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A and C. Practicality and objectivity are unrelated to item consistency. D. Construct validity. Measures whether the test covers the theoretical construct, e.g., mathematical reasoning, not item-to-item consistency. Edge knowledge. Think harmony. The term internal consistency means the parts of the test are working together to measure the same thing. The split half example is the classic way to illustrate this. Question number 5. When a teacher uses a criterion-referenced interpretation of a test, the student's score is interpreted by A. Comparing the student's performance to the average performance of a large, diverse peer group, the norm group. B. Comparing the student's performance to a pre-established standard or mastery level. C. Comparing the student's performance across different subject areas. D. Comparing the student's current score to their previous scores. Correct answer. B. Comparing the student's performance to a pre-established standard or mastery level. Why B is correct? Criterion-referenced tests judge whether the student has met a specific, objective standard, the criterion, or achieved mastery of a skill, e.g., scoring 75% or correctly solving 9 out of 10 problems. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. This is the definition of a norm-referenced interpretation. C. And D. These are measures of growth or differential aptitude, not the core interpretive framework. Edge knowledge. Think standard, goal. Criterion is synonymous with standard or goal. Mastery is the only concern, not how others performed. Question number 6. A grade 6 teacher administers a unit test at the end of the lesson on the Philippine government. The scores are recorded and contribute 20% to the student's final grade for the quarter. This test is being used for A. Diagnostic purposes. B. Formative purposes. C. Placement purposes. D. Summative purposes. Correct answer. D. Summative purposes. Why D is correct? The test is given at the end of a defined instructional period, unit, and its results are used for grading, contributes to the final grade. This is the classic role of summative assessment. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Diagnostic happens before the unit. B. Formative happens during and is focused on feedback, not grading. C. Placement happens before the course, term. Edge knowledge. Think timing and use. The combination of end of unit and used for grading makes the purpose explicitly summative. Question number 7. When constructing a multiple-choice test, a key principle is to ensure that all options, distractors, are plausible and grammatically consistent with the stem. This action helps to improve the tests. A. Practicality. B. Reliability. C. Face validity. D. Item quality, which supports validity and reliability. Correct answer. D. Item quality, which supports validity and reliability. Why D is correct? Ensuring plausible and consistent distractors is a rule of effective item writing. High-quality items are essential because poorly written items confuse students and introduce error, which lowers both validity and reliability. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Practicality is about time, cost. B. Reliability relates to consistency across administrations, scorers. Plausible distractors specifically prevent guessing by elimination, which is an item quality issue. C. Face validity refers to whether the test looks like it measures the construct, a weak form of validity. While important, item quality is the more precise technical term for effective distractor writing. Edge knowledge. Think precision. While good item writing contributes to reliability, the specific action of refining the options is categorized under item analysis, quality to ensure the item measures knowledge, not test-taking savvy. Question number 8. A teacher gives a writing assignment and scores it using a rubric that assigns points based on specific criteria, e.g., 5 points for organization, 10 points for grammar, 15 points for content. This type of scoring is A. Holistic scoring. B. Objective scoring. C. Analytical scoring. D. Dichotomous scoring. Correct answer. C. Analytical scoring. Why C is correct? Analytical scoring, or trait scoring, involves breaking down the performance into separate, identifiable components, organization, grammar, content, and assigning a score to each component. This provides specific, detailed feedback. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Holistic scoring. Assigns a single, overall score or rating to the entire piece of work. B. Objective scoring. Used for simple items with one correct answer, multiple choice, true, false. D. Dichotomous scoring. Assigns only two scores, e.g., 1 or 0, correct or incorrect. Edge knowledge. Think separation, parts. The keyword-specific criteria or components means the score is analyzed trait by trait. Question number 9. Which type of assessment is most appropriate for a teacher who needs to determine why a student is struggling with reading, to pinpoint the specific sub-skills or deficits, e.g., phonics versus comprehension, causing the difficulty? A. Standardized achievement test. B. Diagnostic test. C. Placement test. D. Summative exam. Correct answer. B. Diagnostic test. Why B is correct? Diagnostic tests are specifically designed to break down a subject area into its sub-skills to identify the root cause or the deficiency that requires remediation. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Achievement tests measure what has been learned overall, not why the learning failed. C. Placement determines the level of entry. D. Summative measures final mastery. Edge knowledge. Think root cause. The keywords why a student is struggling and pinpoint specific deficits are the exclusive function of a diagnostic assessment. Question number 10. A 100-item test is administered on Monday. The scores are generally high, but when the same test is given to the same students 2 days later without any intervening instruction, the scores change wildly, showing a low correlation with the first scores. The test is likely lacking in A. Content validity. B. Practicality. C. Test-retest reliability. D. Objectivity. Correct answer. C. Test-retest reliability. Why C is correct? Test-retest reliability is the measure of stability or consistency over time. Giving the same test, to the same group later, retest, and finding low correlation means the test results are unstable and not reliable. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Content validity. Whether the items match the instructional objectives. B. Practicality is about time, cost. D. Objectivity. Consistency in scoring, not in the student's performance over time. Edge knowledge. Think stability over time. When the assessment involves two administrations of the same instrument, the principle being tested is test-retest reliability. If this video gave you an edge, sharpen that like button and subscribe to stay ahead.